Hello and good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I love your name.
Oh, it's just a radio name. It's just one of those things where you're trying to be different so people could write it into the Arbitron, and they got it wrong. They were putting Earl and Harold and Errol, and so they tried to convince me to change it so many times. I was like, I can't. I can't do it.
I like it.
Hey, you two, congratulations on 25 years of marriage. We don't celebrate that enough. I mean, 25 years together is just amazing in this day and age.
I agree. I think the president should issue a decree for our anniversary.
Well, especially in the industry we're in, because if you make it 10 years in a marriage in Hollywood, that's a golden anniversary.
It's true.
The two of you working together in a movie, is this a first-time event?
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, we met on the set of Hercules and I played a princess. So life imitates art. And we haven't stopped working together since. We collaborate very well. We fight really well. And no, but we do. You know, you have to know how to fight. You have to fight the subject, not the person.
Yep.
And that's something that we've accomplished. We know how to fight. And so we know how to fight for what we believe. We're both very passionate. It works really well.
I totally agree with that because I've been married for 31 years, but I like that I don't want to call it a confrontation. I like that disagreement because it grows together like faith. If faith was not challenged, where would we be?
That's exactly correct. And in fact, you can predict a marriage by two things, either how they fight or how they don't ever fight. And if they don't ever fight, that marriage is doomed because there's no spice. There's no fun in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the challenges, the changes, and then sitting down, hey, let's talk about this because I think we can do this even better than what we did. Let's start. Like, for instance, over the weekend, I picked up pickleball for the very first time. What a challenge there.
Oh, well, good for you.
It's good fun. We play with our kids as well. It's a lot of fun and a lot of good exercise.
We had a really good fight on the set of Miracle in East Texas, actually, and it was interesting because this one, not unlike most of the fights, Kevin actually won.
No. So I got to give you a compliment, Kevin. That Southern accent you've got is pretty authentic because I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we have the authentic accent here.
There. Thank you very much. I think Sam's was pretty good too, and she actually went to Duke, so she knows North Carolina pretty well. But we're hoping that people jump in. The movie is this weekend only, the October 29th and 30th. So we're hoping people fill those theaters up right now by going to sorbostudios.com. That's sorbostudios.com and sign up.
Okay, let's
go buy tickets.
Let's talk about the business side of that because why is it only one weekend? Is it because that's our attention span in this modern world?
No, actually, it's because we didn't have that much money to put this movie into theaters. So we had to do a Fathom event, and Fathom dictates. We're very grateful to Fathom because they offer us the opportunity on a low budget to put this movie into theaters. But the limitation is we get two play dates. We get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And that's it. But I'm hoping people, maybe even instead of going out for Halloween to all that ghoulish stuff that's happening across the nation, maybe they'll go to the theater and have a laugh instead. It's a family-friendly movie, so you can bring your whole family. In fact, I put out some resources on sorbostudios.com. They're free. There's a discussion guide because the movie is historic. It tells the true story of the East Texas oil strike. And there's a lot to discuss in the movie, just from the humor, from the aspect of the theme of forgiveness, the theme of entrepreneurship that we see, the theme of American ingenuity that we have in the movie. And so there's a homeschool resource and there's a group discussion guide if you want to invite your book club to go see the movie and have a good discussion about something that's actually meaningful in your lives. I noticed that a lot of Hollywood films, the big blockbusters, for instance, you go and you watch the movie and you leave the theater kind of exhausted, but really no better off in your life. This movie is intended to uplift you, to make you feel better about things and to be happier and offer you some hope.
There's a line in the movie that really is still living inside my heart. Falling prey to their romantic gestures and promises of profits. How many of us are guilty of that line right there?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, look, we all went to public school. And what we learned in the government schools is that our value is tied intrinsically to how much money we make. And so we have this offset of, I need money and I always need more money. And you know what you can never get? You can never get to more.
Right.
You never will have enough. And the sooner that you realize that in your life and sort of divorce yourself from the desire for money, the happier you will be. When you realize that your blessings aren't in the amount of money that you have, but in your relationships. And this is why I advocate for home education. Then you realize where the true values of life are. And this is actually the character arc of Kevin's character in Miracle in East Texas. So it's one of the things that we depict in this movie for people to recognize in their own lives.
See, I was going to ask you about that. Did you become the teacher to other families during the lockdown? Because with what you believe in for homeschooling, it's like that was I thought that was going to become the new way of bringing an education into the soul of humans.
Well, there are 2 million more families that are home educating now because of COVID. Nice. I became the spokesperson for the Texas Homeschool Council. And so I did, and that's sort of my ministry is I train parents on what we actually should mean by education, because we've redefined they've redefined the term. And honestly, I don't understand how Christians can send their children into a system that ignores the Bible.
Speaking of Christianity, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. I instantly thought of Paul, but at the same time, I couldn't help but think of Peter.
Yeah. I mean, we had Dan Gordon, who wrote this movie, is an unbelievable writer. He was nominated for original screenplay for The Hurricane with Denzel Washington. He wrote Wyatt Earp, Kevin Costner, and he brought this film to us and we fell in love with it right away. And any taglines he comes up with are always just brilliant. So this movie will really touch a lot of people's hearts. I get stopped all the time, and isn't because my old series Hercules or Andromeda. It's now because the movies that I'm like, What If, God's Not Dead, Soul Surfer, Let There Be Light. People say, please make more movies like that. Well, here it is. And to answer your question a little bit earlier, I know Sam touched on it. The trouble with independent movies, we don't have $100 million advertising budget. They have that when they do movies like Avatar, and Pirates of the Caribbean. So we can't put a commercial on every football game and every sitcom. We got to rely on word of mouth. And people need to support these movies because Hollywood is winning the culture war right now. And these movies do what Hollywood used to do, movies that had hope and love and laughter in it. We're still making them because that's what made me fall in love with the business to begin with.
I know that you talked about it's only open for 2 days. Thank God to Fathom, because we all love Fathom. But the thing is, where's it go from there? Is it going to go up onto the streaming?
Well, that is... that's the dilemma. Hopefully we do very well in theaters and then it will go further into the streaming market. But if it doesn't do well, then it's going to be a struggle and fewer and fewer people would see it. So the more people who go to the theaters, the better off the movie is and the more chance that it has to survive and reach people all over the world.
The moviegoer is there. They just need to be shown the way. When they go to a movie theater, it's fun to sit there and watch them. What do you want to see today? What do you want to see today? And so for the two of you to come out and talk about this movie, this is how you get people to move by letting them know what the movie is and where it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, everybody should just go to sorbostudios.com. You can sign up for our newsletters. That's how we stay in touch because we are, my husband certainly is a victim of the cancel culture. Facebook took him down. LinkedIn took him down.
Hollywood took me down.
We communicate via email or texting, and the free resources are there on sorbostudios.com. All of the homeschooling stuff that I do is there. Everything is there. So just go to sorbostudios.com.
I love it. You guys have got to keep in touch with me because I want to promote everything that you're doing because I love your message in these movies and stories. Kevin, you've always been there every time that we've talked. It's always been about how can we grow forward. Okay, let me share a story. That's what Kevin does.
Well, we got a couple of wonderful other movies in post-production right now, and I got 2 documentaries coming out next year as well that people will absolutely love. One deals with the Last Supper, and it's going to come out around Easter time, and it's called Eating with the Enemy.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to you again, you two.
Thank you so much. Great to speak.
You be brilliant today, okay?